Okay. All right. So I just hit recording. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and share and go ahead and get started. So thank you so much for being here. Do I know most of you? I think I know most of you. Well,
Nope.
a good handful of you. Hi. So basically I've got about 30 minutes of content, and then I'm going to share and dive into the MAPS coaching. First, a little bit about the course that I'm launching, and then share content with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and mute. Hi, Julia. How are you? Recognize your face. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute. All right. And then, all right, we're good. So we're recording. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, this can be as interactive as you choose. I know we're in the same market, but I'm gonna share a little bit about me. Some of you may or may not know. I think it's important to not follow false prophets and people that are teaching you a certain topic, to really truly know that they've done what they're teaching you, and that you can walk away with actionable items that you can completely implement into your business. So that's my plan for you guys today. You're going to walk away with things that you can immediately do and just allow you to think a little bit differently. So I'm going to just share a few things about me, myself. And then if you guys would like to learn more, I have spoken on stage for Tom Ferry. It's on YouTube, Gary Keller on Connect, and it shares with you more about my story and who I am. I do have an expansion team in 8 different market centers. All of your market centers we are also in, and I am a team leader of our group. I'm a MAPS coach. I personally have 3 kids, and we are at 40 agents on our team. Last year, we did a little over 400 transactions, and excited to help a lot of families this year. I'm a survivor, and why I'm sharing this with you is people that are going through, I'd say, a lot of stuff, a lot of things in their life. I've been asked why in the world I focus on foreclosures. A few of you have been in this market, I recognize, for a long time. So you know that's kind of, before I opened the team, that's what I've always been known for. The reason why I got into foreclosures, or I have allowed that to resonate with me, is because I personally, I've been through a lot, and I believe it's for a reason. And I really, truly, passionately love to help people that are going through something to that next phase of their life. So I'm a survivor of abuse, cancer, and divorce. My mom died when I was 9 of cancer. My dad died when I was 18 in a boating accident. And my sister died when I was 27 in a car crash. I got into the real estate investing game in Tampa, Florida, because at 18 years old, I had an option to take custody of my sister, who's 2 years younger than me. And in doing so, I forewent college and went straight into real estate. So doing that, I, at 18, managed a lease up of a 650 unit apartment community. At 21 years old, after I had my first child, was already married, I ended up getting my real estate license. It's crazy, I'm 41. So I've had my license for 20 years, and I got my real estate license, worked for a small investor. And during that time frame, working for a small investor, I decided to really dive in. I sold all of his properties that he bought, fix, and sold, as well as got really great finding him properties, and then grew my investor database by joining the investment groups, getting buses, filling them up with investors, going and looking at properties with the investors, and would have contractors there, hard money lenders, and things to that nature. Sold and flipped hundreds of homes, and then the market started to downturn. During that time frame, I was told I had many options on growing in the business. During that time frame, there's a lot I'm skipping because I'm not here to share my story. I'm just here to share the path where I'm at now, so you know that I've gone in this distress side of things for a very long time. So what I would tell you is I was in a current situation where I had the opportunity to start taking bank foreclosures that kept getting taken back from the investors I sold homes to. So I really embraced that side of the business. During that time frame, I got into coaching. I also married the love of my life. I am happily married today as well. He was my personal trainer. I was 385 pounds when I had my second child. I've lost over 200 since then. Right before I joined Keller Williams, prior to that, I was with a really big company. I did a lot of short sales, a lot of bank foreclosures, joined Keller Williams. My growth and just the things that I went through kept changing, so I wanted more. So why am I telling you these things? I went from just working with investors, running short sale departments, going through a lot of stuff, but dealing with the market change. I did short sales over 10 years ago when they weren't cool. We do short sales still. So there definitely is a lot of transition with the business. I beat cancer, had my miracle child, and lost over 200 pounds. And I've lost 200 pounds since I've joined KW. I've lost everything and rebuilt, incredibly happily married, mom of 3 awesome kids. And my faith has gotten stronger, my business, finances, everything since COVID. And we've sold over 4,000 homes. So you guys know we're in the same market. So the only thing I'll touch in is our team is always growing. Melissa is in here. So if you guys have any interest, please reach out to her and she can connect you as well with our value proposition. As well, she can share with you about my MAPS coaching program if you have any questions at all and how to sign up. And yes, many people in our market do. I'm on my 3rd launch. So I am a MAPS coach. I'm a single agent coach with MAPS. I do coach teams that are building their production as well, but we are on our 3rd launch, and it starts March 9th for my short sales and foreclosures class. So it is 12 one-hour webinars. And during that time frame, it's a full hour of content. We jump into a Facebook group after I answer a ton of questions during the process. You have 12 weeks of content from how to run a short sale department, do a short sale, work with investors, how to find off-market property, work with buyers on the short sale side, do BPOs if you want additional streams of revenue, and even become an REO agent if you choose. So we're going to teach you everything, divorce, probate, and everything in between. It's only $295 for 3 months. And if you join our course now, it starts March 9th. You're going to be able to get access to a lot of letters, door hangers, and flyers that you can implement into your business. MAPS coaching, highly recommend. I hope all of you are in family reunion next week. I'm excited about it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start sharing with you some content so you guys can implement. Hold on, sorry, my screen share is being a little silly. All right. Let's go here, Black Knight. Okay, so Black Knight is a resource, and I'm going to post these in the chat. Black Knight is a resource that brings in all the data and analytics from many different resources. However, it's free. And what it is all the mortgage data and all the mortgage analytics it's going to pull in. Now, why do you need to know this? You need to know what's happening in our world. And every single month, there is a free report that will tell you what's happening. So 2020 ends with 1.7 million more serious delinquent homeowners than at the start of the year. Foreclosures are at a record low. So what that means for us is we have a ton of people in our world, millions of people in our world that need help. They need solutions. Now, we're in Florida and we're in mutual markets, over 100 for the last few months, and I'll show you some numbers, over 100 notice of defaults have been occurring each and every single week. So unlike many markets, we actually are getting notice of defaults happening. So I'm going to just type in Florida. Next website I want you to pay attention to is auction.com. If you're not on here, I highly recommend you to sign up as a buyer and also sign up as a agent. I've sold hundreds of properties through auction.com on the REO side of things. However, auction.com also filters all of the foreclosure sale calendars in our state and across the country. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and I'm going to show you what to do with this opportunity. But there's 559 properties in the state of Florida right now with foreclosure sale dates. If you said, Christina, how in the world do I make money now? This is how I recommend you to make money now, is to get in touch with the homeowners of these properties. And there's many different ways to do so, from letters to door knocking to picking up the phone after you scrub the do not call. However, every single one of these homeowners have foreclosure sale dates, and it would be a great opportunity for you to either create wealth or for yourself or your clients, or create listing opportunities and help them with that next phase of their life. So I'm going to give you some more context with that, but I just wanted to be able to share that resource with you. Okay, so this is just a picture of what the chart looks like with Black Knight. I'm not going to dive into this because I have a lot that I'd love to share with you. We're in this mutual market, and there's a lot of things that I can dive into that you can implement into your business. But you can see here, there's millions of homeowners that are in foreclosure or behind or delinquent, but they're not, the house hasn't fully been foreclosed on. So we need to learn what the options are. We need to learn what to say. We need to learn how to say it. And we need to learn to be able to help the people in our world. Okay. All right. So they asked that I dived into pre-foreclosures and short sales today. So I'm going to, I may talk fast. I apologize. I just have a lot of content I want to share with you. So 3 months of failed payments, that constitutes a pre-foreclosure. Now we're going to dive into forbearance and what that means. Educate homeowners about their options. Us as agents need to know what those options are. Homeowners may already be in forbearance. Sale price and pre-foreclosure stage may be higher than sale price of foreclosed property. And the stage of pre-foreclosure ends with a notice of default, as well as the people that are in forbearance right now. You guys have millions of people that are across the world right now in forbearance. We are unaware. I'm going to show you some cool ways to be able to approach the people in your world, in your community, to be able to offer options to them. The whole idea is to get to the homeowner or the absentee owner prior to their forbearance becoming due, because that's going to allow less impact on their credit. However, publicly, we do not know until they're in notice of default phase. So it's going to be working your database, being the community expert. And then the other aspect, it's going to also be, in addition to working your database, it's going to be working the notice of default. This is one sliver of what I teach, one small section, but notice of defaults are very prevalent, especially in our area, as our state has full visibility. Many states do not, and you can't even see what's in notice of default until the end of February. So here are the options for the homeowner. Potentially reverse the default status, sell at market value to settle debts, request forbearance, sell as a short sale, or go into foreclosure. So I want you to understand that a short sale, they do not need to be delinquent in the property. They do not need to. So in order to qualify for, hold on one second. Yes. You guys are going to get links as well on some of the things that I'm going through. So thank you for joining. I just glanced at the chat. So anyway, in order for a person to do a short sale, they have to owe more on the property than what the property is worth and what they can sell it for. They do not need to be delinquent. So I just want to buzz through a few of the moratoriums, and I want you to understand there are a ton of options right now for forbearance and things that are out there. It's going to depend on who backs the mortgage. So you may have 10 different clients that all have 10 different payment plans or repayment plans on their forbearance, depending on who backs their loan. So the end of February, Fannie and Freddie, that is when the moratorium lifts for Fannie and Freddie loans. The FHA has extended to the end of March, and USDA and HUD have extended to the end of March. So what this means is all federally backed loans, they're going to start becoming visible if people default in their forbearance agreement or they're delinquent on their mortgage, the end of February on Fannie and Freddie, and the end of March on the rest of them. Many of them are already visible. The only thing that has moratoriums is these federally backed mortgages that are part of our state. So what that means to you is we have a few weeks to be able to get to the people in our world that may not be able to pay their forbearance payment and that they're behind on their mortgage, to be able to offer solutions to them. There is a eviction moratorium, and it's been extended to the end of March. And there's been projection that there's 14 million to 40 million plus people that are behind in their mortgages. So I just want to explain to you a little bit about forbearance and what that means. It's a timeout to give you a chance to deal with the disruption caused by the virus while you work to replace your income or employment. If you can still make payments, you should, but there will be no late fees or credit impact if you don't until the end of the forbearance payment term. Forbearance does not mean forgiveness. When you regain the ability to make payments, you need to tell your client or you to reach out to the hardship relief task force that's part of the bank or the servicing entity. Now you have a lot of people in your world, and they are going to need to know what their options are. So the options to repay your missed payments will vary based on loan type, owner, and how many payments are missed, but they may include the following: modifying your loan by reaching an agreement to change the original terms, deferring all past due principal and interest, which will generally be due for a payment at a maturity date. So some are doing maturity dates of 6 or 12 months or several years, depending on who backs the mortgage. So I need you to understand that the people in your world, they're all going to be different. There's not going to be one way in this whole forbearance to get them to that next phase of their life. Our job is to get to them before their credit truly gets impacted. I'll share with you some options on how to do that, but to be able to help sell their home or help them in that phase before their credit gets impacted. So this is a great time for us to be able to sell homes to people that are in forbearance. And if they're currently in forbearance, you can do a sale leaseback. You know that our MLS, it's pretty prevalent where a lot of people are doing that. And that'll give them a chance to pay off that forbearance payment so they're not delinquent on their mortgage. And if they're not delinquent on their mortgage and they've been reestablished with their job, after that forbearance and their current mortgage is paid off, then they can get another mortgage if they qualify. So that 60-day sale leaseback or 45-day sale leaseback may give you an opportunity to help them find another home. So our job really truly is to understand what the options are available to help the people in our world. So I am going to just share with you a few screens. Okay, so I want you to start to reimagine. I want somebody to post an address in the chat. And I'm going to show you how to start reimagining your farm and the areas that you work. Okay, let's see if anyone posted anything. All right, any address, post one for me, please. Awesome. Is that in... Brendan, is that in Hillsborough County? Tampa. Okay. Pasco. Okay, so let's go with the first one. Okay. One of my favorite tools that our MLS has, not all of them do, when you are looking at your farm in your area is IMAP. Okay, so you can see this person's on the do not call. Okay, now here's a property, and I'm going to show you more ways to look at a farm. However, you can go big, you can go small. It really depends on what your finances look like. These beautiful, amazing, bright colored envelopes are great to go out to a small farm. And I call it ding dong ditch. You guys can easily have coupon bags with a nice colored flyer or a door hanger go out to that farm. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's all about the message, okay? Now, here's the address. You're going to click on IMAP. Foreclosures, canceled, and expired. Okay, so all of you are going to have different areas that you work. However, I highly recommend on a minimum, if you don't work a farm, you on a minimum start with the neighborhood you live in. So there is a lot of visibility and there's a lot of free tools that are available via MLS. Remind is one of my favorite tools. This is the easy button right here that's going to show you a quick small search, and you can zoom in or you can zoom out. So every Sunday, and I've lost 40 pounds since COVID. I do a lot of steps and I like to get out and walk. My family on Sunday, they like to sleep in before church. So I get up, I already have the pre-done flyers, door hangers, and letters, and I go to my community before anyone wakes up. This is my routine, and I get them out every single week in person. So this is a small neighborhood, so you hover over the address, and you see here, that's owner occupied. It's expired. You click on another one. That one is in pre-foreclosure. Okay. Here's another one. That one is in pre-foreclosure. You do that every single week in a very small area in the area you live in. You can see here's an address, and then right across the street, it looks like Oakstead actually owns that one. It looks like they must have done a foreclosure sale on that one. But this gives you a way to start looking and reimagining your community in the area that you work in. I'm going to show you a few other resources because this is, we're in the same MLS. That will allow you to be able to kind of open your mind to what the potential possibilities are. Right now, guys, we have so many people in our world. We have so many people that we know that need our help. You could have people that live right across from you, you don't even realize that are in foreclosure. And when these notice of defaults and these forbearance payments and agreements come due, you're really going to be opened up to a lot of different opportunity to be able to help. Our job right now should be to pick an area and focus on that, or our phone, and really let people know we're a community expert. But this is the address on Crockett, and you can see that there's a lot of opportunity. I don't recommend IMAP if you're doing it on a big level. IMAP just gives you a great visibility in your neighborhood that you can have a list of everyone every week that you send a letter out to. But this is very simple and allows you to start small. Now, Remind is a different situation. We send hundreds of letters out each and every week, as well as door hangers via Remind, R-E-M-I-N-E. I teach you how to use that during our course and how that can help impact you. But this is just a great way to start reimagining your farm in the area that you live and you work in. Now, I'm going to show you another area or another possibility. This is an app that you're going to get. It's free for the first week. Again, make sure that every phone number that you pick up the phone and you call, that you truly are scrubbing the do not call. Now, keep in mind, you can go door to door and you can send a letter. So this is a tool that we use on a high level called PropStream. I'm just typing in Tampa, and I'm just going to show you the functionality on how to be able to put your message out. And you can see here, like here's bankruptcy. There's 510 in Tampa. Divorce, 883. Pre-foreclosure, 1,434. Okay. So you can also add things like liens and judgments. HOA lien, 148 in Tampa. It's all about the message. It's all about being there to help and be your community expert. You can do it big, you can do it small, you can do off market, you can create your own wealth by building your own investment pool. But the amount of opportunity that's available that can truly help you help people in your community and your world, it is really, it's amazing on every level. So I'm going to dive into the functionality of a short sale in a second. But I do want to show you, hold on. Guys, please post as many questions as you want, because I'm here to help you and just add value and be able to help you on, let me new share, to help you be able to take away things that you can implement into your business. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just type in something small, Lutz, Florida, since most of you know. Hold on. Actually, let's do, all right, Trinity. Okay. So you'll see here in Trinity, smaller, okay? So when you add the different criteria and analytical data, you're going to be able to really start to look at your neighborhood very differently. So this particular site, PropStream, and I go over probably about 20 plus and about 40 other resources in our course. It's going to have you start reimagining the farm and where you live and things to that nature. So I want you to really start to realize how much we can help people that need our help on every level. So, you know, this particular site gives things like probate. You can see in this very small area right here, there's 96 properties that have liens on them. So I'm going to show you how to be able to implement this into your business and what messages to be able to say and how to be able to utilize this into your business. So I use RedX for the notice of default data because we are calling. It also has a great way to import list no matter where they're from, whether it's recruits or outside or via the site I just showed you. The site I just showed you does have a skip trace functionality that does scrub the do not call, but RedX is definitely it's the cheap, easy button if you pull a phone number from white pages to make sure it's not on the do not call. Now I want you to understand that you can mail and you can go door to door, and a runner is a great investment. There's a lot of people that are out of work right now. So the notice of default list that we personally use is RedX because it does have a lot of other functionalities. Now auction.com I showed you, and auction.com is going to show you everything that has a foreclosure sale date. So I want you to see here, and the great thing about our area is auction.com does feed in the foreclosure sale dates, but our area, once you click on auction.com, it will allow you to pull the county site. So Real Foreclose is the state of Florida. It's the easy button. It's going to show you everything that has a foreclosure sale date. You can see they're starting to light up again. Our job is to be able to get to them before they get into foreclosure. A short sale takes about 2 weeks right now if the seller gets all of the information in, and buyers are not hard to find right now, as you know. So I definitely teach you how to functionally navigate this entire system. So let's go ahead and dive into some other fundamentals. So county recorder's office, that's where the foreclosure sales go. I showed you Real Foreclose. Auction.com is a great resource. There's probably 100 different resources I teach in the course, from probate to zombie properties to abandoned properties, a ton of different things to be able to teach you how to find off-market properties. Now, I'm just going to touch on this quickly because you may or may not have heard me talk about this. I want you to see the possibilities, and the possibilities, and I'm going to talk as I screen share since we do have a same functionality on some things. Remind is one of the cheapest, because it's free for us, greatest tools that will allow you to pull all absentee owners, and it will allow you to pull absentee owners in our particular area, or where our MLS covers. About 70% of the MLSs in the country cover, hold on one second. About 70% of the MLSs in the country have Remind Pro for free. We have it, and it's an amazing tool. So right now is a great opportunity for absentee owners. And why it's a great opportunity is it's going to allow you to be able to talk to absentee owners that potentially have somebody in some type of a delinquency status, and we can help offer solutions to them. So I want you to understand, and I'm just pulling up, I'm just typing in, you can type the city as well, but I'm just showing you on an overview. So here is absentee, here is 33625, properties that are not listed. You go under the status functionality, and absentee owners in state and out of state. 1,153. You go to high cell scores, and I always do medium on absentee owners. There's 126 properties, and I don't have time today, but in our course, I do teach it. You export this data and you send letters. You pick up the phone. You have 126 potential opportunities to be able to offer them an option to be able to sell their home now. And 126 is a great amount just for one zip code on absentee owners. So Cash for Keys is a great option when you're talking to a homeowner that has a rental that the person could potentially be delinquent. Offering Cash for Keys is a great option. And what that means is you offer, you tell them that you can have a conversation with the tenant, or they can. And the reason why you're doing that is because right now the eviction moratoriums, they end the end of March. However, the Biden administration has asked for them to extend till the end of September. Now, there's a lot of unpredictable time frame that it will take for that landlord to potentially get that tenant to their next chapter of their life. So our job is to offer solutions, and Cash for Keys is a great one. And the way you approach it to get more listings is talk to that absentee owner and say, you know what, I would love to be able to talk to the tenant, or you can. The reason why you do it is you're going to save on cleanup, you're going to save on eviction costs, and you're going to save on loss of rent, because there's an unpredictable time on how long it's going to take to get that potential renter out of the property. I'm going to be able to help them potentially find another property, and I highly recommend us doing this. And what that looks like is you offer cash for keys, and the cash could be first, last, and security. It could be $1,000 or $2,000. It's a negotiation that you have with the tenant, and it really is a great way to get that tenant out and to be able to sell the home, because it is the best time in the world right now to sell the home. Now I'm going to go over a little bit of the short sale plan for you. Now I do want you to know our area is great. Insured Title, Hillsborough Title. I'm not sure if Star Title has one, but having a short sale third-party negotiator is something I've done for about 10 years. I personally have done short sales for since 2005. However, using a third-party negotiator will help you streamline the process and stay within your 20%. So I want to pick out a few things for you. Sign a listing agreement with an addendum, put it on the MLS. What that means is you need to make sure you have the right MLS verbiage and wording, so you're able to split that commission 50-50. It should be a 7% commission and split 50-50. You're going to more than likely get knocked down to 5 or 6%, but the banks are paying, and we've been getting them approved at 6%. Now, I want you to also understand that depending on who the bank is, you may have 7, 10, or 15 days required to list the property on the MLS. So make sure that that criteria is found, and that's part of their short sale package, that they'll tell you how long that it needs to be on the MLS, because they want you to give everyone a fair chance. Now, what I love about this is it gives us time to be able to find a lot of really great buyers that we can potentially also put into something else. So make sure to know that it's not overcomplicated. You just have to follow the process. The other thing I want you to know is on step 8, I'm going to teach you how to do a BPO. If you want to work with relocation companies, you want to list REOs, or you want to just be able to better understand how to evaluate properties, we do cover that as well. The other thing I want you to pay attention to, step 9, is negotiate with a loss mitigator. A loss mitigator is the department that forbearance and short sales are processed in. And that loss mitigator is the one that you would create that relationship with to be able to, after the short sale is approved or in the middle of it, just say, I had a really great experience with you. Is there any possible way that you can refer me to the bank-owned side of things, or do you have a preferred network of agents? So it's really your foot in the door. This next year is going to be a really big short sale year. You guys are going to have to understand if it's a forbearance, if it's a short sale or not. Now, you have to keep in mind that forbearance doesn't mean forgiveness. If they owe $200,000 on the home and the payment is $2,000 for every month, and they haven't paid in 12 months, $24,000 gets added onto the payoff on the property. So yes, it's not like 2008. Yes, the equity position is different. However, the $24,000 does eat up part of that equity. The idea is we need to sell those homes prior to the forbearance agreement becoming due. So you guys are going to have to learn how to differentiate the two. And the conversation is, when you're talking to somebody that could be a potential short sale, after you find out how much they owe, and if they are a short sale, is it's going to not cost you anything out of pocket, which it doesn't. And I can send you over the paperwork right away and get started. And the bank potentially may, or the servicing company may potentially pay you a few $1,000s as cash for keys to relocate from the home. So being able to offer those objections and be able to work through all of that is going to be really important. Now I'm going to share with you guys a few apps that I use just so you can check them out. Printer Bees is one of my favorite resources that is going to give you a lot of door hangers, great messages for expireds, different farming, things like that. So you don't need to per se use these. I have no ownership with them, but it gives you a great message that you may be able to take that message and maybe look into putting it into some type of flyer format via command or designs. So I will be posting this as well. Now, the other thing I want you to open your mind up to, I showed you the map and I showed you Remind and I showed you how to be able to locate on iMap the people that you know. There's a lot of people you know right now with 40+ million potentially in eviction, with millions in forbearance that has not become public record yet. Now is the time to be able to reach out and become that community expert. You've got about 6 weeks or so before the last moratorium expires. So this is a great app I use. Many people I coach and across the country use it. It's free for a few weeks. You download it, text everybody in your phone, gives you a great opportunity to do those care calls that everyone says to touch base. And right now it should be just, hey, I'm just checking on you. It could be in 3 days. Happy Valentine's Day. This is Christina Griffin. I hope you're doing well. Would you mind sending me your address? Because I'd love to get you out an Easter card or add you to my card list. The following week, you're going to see here new video messages. This app actually allows you to send video messages. And to me, the message needs to be, the market of the moment is right now. So the message needs to be, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. I just wanted to check and see if you knew anybody in forbearance or an eviction. I know there's a lot going on in the world, and I just want to be able to help offer solutions to them. There's a lot of really great ways through this app you can touch base with your farm, with your community, and the people that know, like, and trust you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop a lot of these links as well. Guys, if you have questions about my course, it's a MAPS course, please reach out to Melissa. She can also share you all the info. Pick up the phone, write handwritten letters. I want you to know that handwritten letters, I don't know about you, when I get a handwritten letter, it makes my heart smile. So yellow letters are a great function of a handwritten letter if you want to do it en masse. Potentially, so Remind has a functionality to send out via the data where you upload it into a yellow letter function. Yellow letters are, if say you have a budget and you're like, I want to spend $250 to all the expireds that haven't been relisted, all of the notice of default, and all the absentee owners in my direct neighborhood. It looks like a handwritten letter. The whole idea is to get them to open the mail and get them to call you, as well as send out cards, and AM cards is another really great functionality. Highly, highly recommend it. So let me, I'm just going to post some of these apps that I shared today in the chat. I do want you to realize that people that are going through something on a distress side, you really truly need to become that community expert and really truly learn how to be there to help them have a servant's heart, offer solutions. They're going to work with you forever if you help them in this time currently. So everybody's going through different things right now. So first, your plan of action should be getting the people in your world, helping them and giving options. People with foreclosure sale dates, that is a great get money right now. And then learning the processes and the options available. You got to remember that these are long-term nurtures. I use the analogy like a divorce. It's when, like, I've been through a divorce. You get served papers, and then at the end, it's done. Same with a foreclosure. You get served, that the foreclosure is getting started, and then you've got the process until it gets foreclosed on. There's going to be a lot of emotion in between. So we need to have servants' hearts. We need to really open our mind to the possibilities. And again, a great script is, if you were offered the right price for your house, would you be willing to sell? Guys, I have a ton of stuff I can talk about today. I hope you guys got value from what I shared. And if there's anything that you, I can help, or I'm an open book, please ask questions and I'm here to help. Any questions? Nothing? Michelle, did I talk too much? I'm just teasing. She's like, you know, like serious thinking. So.
I was actually, no, I was reading one of the things. I opened one of the apps that you put there. I was reading.
Those are just some cool apps I highly recommend you guys to check out, depending on your business. I definitely recommend. I know many are going to watch this on the rewatches too. Guys, there's a lot of really great options. MAPS is a great group, and I'm honored to be part of them. I know I'm in your market, but it doesn't matter. I really, truly want to be able to help. So if you guys have questions, reach out to Melissa. Do you guys have any questions I can answer before I jump off?
I actually had one about, you know, you're talking about forbearance, and you could do a sale and then a lease back. And then with the lease back, you could help them be able to buy something else. Was there a time frame you said there was?
Yes. So the thing why I recommend a lease back on forbearance, so the whole idea is you need to get them before the forbearance payment becomes due and before it impacts their credit. So you can offer on you can put on the MLS that seller requires up to a 60-day sale leaseback. And that is something, FHA is 30, I believe now, and 60 for conventional. So whatever buyer is going to buy that home, they obviously, they'd have to agree to the post occupancy and the sale back. So what that does is that gives you the ability to have 2 transactions. And what I mean by that is, say your client was out of work, your client was in forbearance. Maybe your client was able to save a few months because they didn't have to pay through forbearance payments. And now they're back to work. Now they qualify for a mortgage again. So that gives them the time to be able to go into you to find them another home, as well as it could give you time to maybe put them in a Home Partners of America property or a Divvy home or something you're going to also get another commission on, or an apartment. So they don't have to pack all their stuff, have no money, and then have to move.
Okay.
And sale leasebacks are not a new thing in our market. Right now, there's no issues with those getting approved. You just have to, the big thing is setting the standard up front. So when you set that standard up front, and you put that on the MLS, people know to be able to do that. And it's going to be really great for you. You know, that's where like also the cash for keys comes in play. When you are your whole, like, say you pay a runner to go put out 200 door hangers and you put on there that you're an expert in forbearance, you know, ask me how you can stay in your home, you know, or options available. It just gives you those options to be able to handle those objection handlers. Because some people in forbearance that may not have the funds to move, but have a little bit of equity, they may end up riding it out and staying in that home till they get foreclosed on because they have no money to move. So our job should be to offer solutions to them. Does that make sense?
Thank you. This is awesome.
Do you guys have any questions at all? Anything else? All right, I got a 3 o'clock. You guys are awesome. Melissa posted her info. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to teach you all my secrets and you join my course. And, you know, and if you guys have any questions at all, let me know. Okay.
Thank you for everything, Christina.
See you. Bye.